All right, everyone, here we are with Nndm Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And let's jump into this chart. But as we jump into this chart, this is where we have our resistance and support. So if you haven't had a chance to catch the video, this is our resistance and our current support based off the chart and what we're seeing here. I go into more detail about it in the Nano Dimensions chart analysis full video, but this is Nano Dimensions chart analysis with extra information. We're going to talk about ARK Invest. ARK Invest yesterday, from Friday to yesterday, bought more shares. So from Friday to yesterday, they bought more shares, but people were commenting down below, I never got that notification. I'm signed up for the notification list and so forth. And I went ahead and I looked at yesterday's report. It wasn't there. So I was looking everywhere that I could find. I found some information to distinguish the two. And today I'm seeing the same correlation. And the only place that I could see that these purchases were probably made, right? This is me now hypothetically speaking, because if they're not doing it during trading hours, they're not reporting it on the report. So they're probably doing it after hours. And there's a large purchase here of almost 42,000 shares and then another 46. Now, within this 42 and 46, it doesn't mean that every single one of them was purchased. This could be also stocks that were sold through the process, but within these last couple of hours of the day, some purchases were made, or they're forgetting to put this in the notifications. I'm not sure which one of the two, but I do have here some information for you guys to see. So hang on tight. We're going to break this down and we're going to look at it deeper. So before we jump into everything, I want to announce to everyone the launch of my website. I launched it last week. I want to say thank you to all of you guys that have joined, and thank you for all of you guys that have stopped by. I'm going to put the link down below in the description, investfortomorrow.com. There is a short video for you guys to check out and have a little bit of more insight and information on the purpose of the website and where it's going moving forward. There is a disclaimer that I highly suggest reading so that everyone is aware and no one feels misled or misinformed on the purpose of the website. There are the forums here where everyone can go ahead and gather in the gathering of investors. We have here also information on stock picks, weekly and monthly, and then daily watch lists and other forums such as how to manage the intangible. And as I further develop the website, there will be more. And in the members option, you do have two options to pick from. You have to choose one to go ahead and gain access to each one's description down below. But this is completely optional. No need to sign up. No need to be a member. But I do want to make you guys all aware of it. And I want to say thank you to those of you that have joined. And also thank you to those of you that take the time to go ahead and check it out. So I encourage you guys to go see it. But let's jump into Nano. So Nano Dimensions fell to about $6 after the offering that most recently happened on Monday. It's been running since yesterday leading on to today. So Nano Dimensions has had a lot of volatility, but the most important thing is that ARK Invest through this volatility has been loading up on shares. So from Friday to Monday, they went up almost about 100,000 more shares, and we're about to see now how they went up just a few more. So a few more thousand. So here we are with obviously the ARK Invest of today, right? The ARQ. This is where Nano Dimensions is, which we're going to look at in just a moment, the breakdown. It says here that they bought Deere and Co., and then they bought Raven Industries Inc., and then they sold this one down here. Now, MTLS, to make it short. I've been watching them. They've been buying Deere and Co. That is probably one of the best long-term plays, and they are a big sector of construction and heavy equipment and so forth. Their stock is like up in the 200s, I believe. And Raven Industries, I've been watching them buy this as well, but I haven't really zoomed in on this, like why they're purchasing it. I haven't done much research, but I keep seeing them pop up. So this is RQ for 12.8. Today is 12.8. So let's go ahead and see here our other pictures here that we got. So I'm also showing here Another one that's pretty interesting, which we're going to talk about, ARC W, some of the shares that they've been buying. But let's focus in on Nano Dimensions, right? So this was yesterday's 12.7. They were in 22nd place, right? 22. And Nndm, 3.6 million shares, almost 3.7, right? They're 8,000 away from that. And the value was 24 million at the time, at 1.98 in weight from the portfolio. So I had stated that if they bought more from Friday to yesterday, even when the offering and those lows happen, ARK Invest sees value in Nano Dimensions, and they're not too worried about it because they were valued a little bit more previously to this offering. But if they're purchasing more value into this stock, then they see the value that it's going to rise back up or even more in the future. I'm even bold to say that they're seeing Nano Dimensions as probably one of their top 15 if they're trying to do this as a long-term play. I believe that's probably what their goal is. I have not seen Nano Dimensions be sold by ARK Invest. If anything, I just see it keep getting bought, keep getting bought, keep getting bought. So I said, okay, their portfolio kind of lost some weight, it lost some value. Well, let's look at the portfolio today. So it gained weight again at 2.10. It's again 2% or above it a little bit. It's now worth 26 million again. The value of the stock went up just a bit, and they bought about, you could say, 25,000 shares. It's not a lot of addition to the portfolio, but the fact that Nndm keeps getting added to ARK Invest, ARQ, right? Back to our screenshot here of ARQ. You don't see it anywhere here, right? And it's not because of how little bit of amount of shares, because Deere & Co., they only bought 12,000 shares. They bought about 25,000 from yesterday, right? 3.692 to today to 3.713. I mean, I'm not counting the hundreds to kind of round it up. So when you do the math, that's almost 25,000 shares just about. The value went up since the stock went up just a bit, but they added more to their position as it's going up. That right there, again, like I keep saying, it speaks in high volumes. If Nano Dimensions was to get sold just one share from ARK Invest, that would probably raise a red flag in my opinion, and we'd have to watch this. But right now, they just keep adding to their portfolio. I know that 25,000 sounds pretty small compared to their large orders of almost 100,000 at a time, 50,000, 80,000, 1 million shares at a time, right? But I think they're playing this a little bit safer now, and they're trying to ride this as value grows. But I'm really watching their share count here because it's not coming up. Either they're forgetting to put it on RQ, or it's being executed after hours and they're not sharing it there because it has nothing to do with the intra trade. Because it's very important to keep that in mind, that this is intra trade information. And a lot of people say, well, I didn't see it here and this and that. So I saw in people's comments down below. So I'm kind of breaking this down. You got to kind of really watch this. And the fact that their weight grew back again, it wasn't just because the value of the stock went up. It's also they took a bigger position on the stock. Now, 25,000, some people may say that's not a lot, but 25 more thousand shares, you do the math, that's still an investment, right? So we need to watch this closely. Nano Dimensions keeps getting added by, right, ARK Invest. And here we are with the chart, and it's going back up in this direction. I would love to see your guys' thoughts down below if you think this is going to break through the $8. It wasn't able to. It reached $7.97, the peak, and then it fell down to almost $6. Do you guys see this breaking through $7.97 and hitting newer highs? Do you see that $8 mark or $10 mark getting reached? I would love to see your guys' insight and thoughts on that one. So let's go back to also here ARKW. So in ARKW, we're seeing here that ARKW, they keep adding Salesforce.com. I've been seeing that pop up over and over again. I think in this one as well is where they're adding DocuSign, which I've talked about before. I think it's in this particular ETF. If it's not in this one, it's in one of the others. Or they actually add to both of these, because in some of them, they add a little bit less than others. Like I've noticed that about Tesla. They have one portfolio that has over 2 million shares in Tesla, and then they have one portfolio that has like 200,000 shares in Tesla. But that's their innovative compared to their other ones. But Peloton keeps popping up, right? Peloton, P-T-O-N. And they bought almost $250,000, right? 200, well, actually over $250,000. 263,300 shares. That right there speaks in high volumes. They're seeing that Peloton right now is at a discount. And we're talking about it already broke through the $100 mark. It's hanging up out there. And we saw it before rising up to 140. It was close to 90, right? And I talked about it when it was like around 107. I'll put the video down below so you guys can check it out. I talked about it back in September. And they're seeing potential here for Peloton, not just because of the shutdowns, but because of the fact that this is going to become an innovative thing that has already been an innovation that's going to become a norm. Like, right? We're going to start working out from home more than anything. Or they see that these machines are going to get bought by these large companies of workout or whatever. But I think what they're seeing is a lot of people are finding it more comfortable to work out from home. You don't have to be around large crowds, and you're not touching other people sweat and debris, right? As people are touching different machines and so forth. They have a subscription service. That's probably one of the biggest things that Peloton, right, has. And I just see them adding this on. That's very interesting. I've seen Salesforce, and I've also been watching DocuSign. Slack Technologies, they've been getting rid of them by the millions. I don't know how many shares they have or how early on they got in, but they've been letting this one out by the millions. I've seen a couple 100,000, and then I've seen 2 million, 3 million one time at one shot. But Slack Technologies doesn't like drop dramatically because of these shares being sold. It kind of like hangs out. So you can see that ARK Invest is either just kind of rebalancing their portfolios, and they've been in it for such a long time that they see value in selling Slack, not because Slack is not going to grow anymore, but maybe that's it. You know, you got to do your due diligence and research that. But I have noticed them getting rid of WRK a lot. But they probably have a lot of shares. That's why they've been able to sell millions and millions, and they got in pretty early than others. But again, back to PTON, I see them loading up on that, and CRM, Salesforce. So I just want to kind of share that with you guys, give you guys some insight on other things that Nano Dimensions isn't the only specific one to look at. ARK Invest is doing many things, but specifically for Nano Dimensions, what's really important to me, and I've been watching, is do they add more shares after these offerings? Because if they do, they did yesterday, right? From Friday to yesterday, and they did today. That's a good sign that there's still room here. It might look like it's a bit pricey and a bit up there, but there's still room here. And something I've noticed really interesting is that Nano Dimensions keeps doing their offerings, and their offerings are higher and higher. They started at $3, $4, $5, and $6. Now the question is, will this run up 8 plus, and then they're going to do another offering at $8? We'll have to watch this and pay close attention. But I just wanted to share that information with you guys. Hope you guys find it helpful and informative. And as always, if you find this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell, turn on all notifications, and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. And I'm going to put the link down below. Check out the website. And thank you guys so much for watching. And let's make some money.